Our mindset is one of the most important tools that we have as we're navigating life. So I want to talk a little bit about mindset for a second, because we had a segment on the podcast today where we're talking about Lady Justice, the justice system, and how it is not applied fairly to all people. We can acknowledge that. But I offered a perspective that I would like to push and really kind of be the catalyst for a revolution of sorts in our mind. I think our mindset is one of the most important tools that we have as we're navigating life. I think that we can't control our circumstances. We can't control the family that we're born into. We can't control what we look like. We can't control many things in our life, but we can control the way we think. Now, everybody is born with a certain set of cards, and the different decisions that we make throughout our lives determines how those cards play out, if you will. And when I talk to, my peers or people who, I happen to engage in conversation with, I often find that there is a certain mindset that people that look like me have. And in some respects, there are different vantage points, but in some respects, it almost feels like a victim mentality. And before you guys jump to conclusions, let me say, I am not saying that everybody has that mentality. What I'm saying is that it shows up in a variety of different ways. And while I can understand and I can appreciate having a thought or having an identity that is wrapped in a lot of tragedy, and there are systemic things that have been embedded that sometimes we overlook because we kind of just take it as status quo. I can appreciate that, and I don't want to gloss over that and make it seem as though I don't recognize that these things are at play, and we have a lot of the chips stacked up against us. But what I can submit is that when you are in a situation where your objective is to elevate, to win, to succeed, you have to let your mind rise above the iniquities. You have to allow it to rise above your limitations and think, what possible solution can I effectuate in this situation with my cards to do better or move past it if I don't like this? That is a mindset thing, because it's not something that's tangible. It's something that occurs in here. And one of the ways I think it happens is by surrounding yourself with people who have higher level thinking, whose experiences have shaped them and molded them to be that of abundance and resource and provision. You have to get around people like that. I talked about on the podcast today getting a mentor, and the word mentor sounds very lofty. It's really finding someone who is at a minimum better than where you are, right? And get around them and figure out, ask questions, be inquisitive, be curious about how they were able to get where they are. It might be that it's familial. They were born into a certain family. It might be that they earned it. It might be that, it's a mixture of the two. You don't know if you don't ask. So get around people who you're like, at a minimum, we want to strive for higher, but at a minimum, you can say, this person is a notch or two notches above me. And if I want to get up here, even if I'm climbing the ladder, I can get to this stop right here and inquire about how do I get here, right? And then move your way up. I think it's important that also, in addition to that those who see those coming up and are in a position to impart them with any level of advice or wisdom or foresight, they should do it. They should make that a part of their purpose and their mission. It's no different than how Christians are asked to, win souls and make disciples, right? Tell people about the good word of God. I have said this, and, Michelle and I are yet to kind of sit down and be able to record this video, but just us talking about Deuteronomy chapter 28, there's going to be a video that gets posted on the page. It might come out before this video. So if it is out, go ahead and check it out. If it is, I'll put it up here. Go check it out. Deuteronomy chapter 28 kind of gives a breakdown of what the word in that chapter is saying about obedience and disobedience, the promises that God makes to us if we are obedient and we follow his word, and the things that happen to us when we don't. I think it's such a strong illustration of how the word of God kind of governs, our world. And so when we see chaos and things happening, if you believe in it, it can be said to be biblical, right? So I say all this to say that I really want to push a mindset in 2025, a mindset shift, okay? Like a force field that is going to help you shift your mindset from low, I don't even want to say low level. That sounds disrespectful and I don't want to offend anybody. What I'm saying is to see yourself at the highest point that you can envision yourself. And that's the marker. Like, start there. The highest, like, if all things being equal, if you could have it your way, how you would want to see yourself. I want you to put a pin on that. And I want you to test your premise and say, what would I have to do? I know where I want to be. What things do you think I would need to do? Or what things do I think I would need to do to get there? And you have Google, you have Chat, you have Copilot, you have a number of different platforms that you can go into and research and do research. I'm telling you that when you change your mind and the way that you think, your life will change. I'm not saying do it for a week. I'm saying if you really change the way you think, your mindset, the excuses that you tell yourself, we can't change the past. We do acknowledge the past. We do acknowledge that there are still big inadequacies in the system that governs our world. But that is not going to be the rate limiting step. We're going to rise above that. We're going to proceed past that, because that's what we have to do to get to the life that we want for ourselves and for our families. And honestly, whenever you dwell in something that you can't change, it's unproductive, to say the least. So I don't do that. I want those who want to get that mindset shift, those people who want to get around others, who are empowered to think bigger and put themselves in a position to win, then tap in with us on our platform, okay? Subscribe, leave a comment. We do see all the comments and we will respond, and make sure that you sign up for our newsletter. You can hit the link in bio on our Instagram page, and there should be a newsletter sign up in there. You could also go to our website. It's at the bottom of the page, and I think at the bottom of every other page on our platform, our website, hearmeoutpod.com. I'm really passionate about this. I can tell you that the mindset shift has always been the game changer for me. Anytime I've wanted to do something, anytime I have set out to accomplish something and made it plain and deduced it to its most common denominator, what got me there, what kept me there, and what made me persevere through every hard time was my mindset. When I made a choice and I locked in my mind, not in the physical, okay, but in my mind, it has always been the game changer. That one thing that has taken me from being, okay, I'm just going to do this, to I'm going to do it well. That I will leave you guys with. I hope you guys enjoyed this little sermon, but make sure you tap in with us, guys, on the Hear Me Out podcast platform on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video and leave a comment and let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys working on your mindset? Have you had any mindset shifts? Tell me how you thought before. How do you think now? And how has that helped and impacted your life? Like, I really want to know if I'm the only one who believes this or practices this, because people always talk about my work ethic, and a lot of it is due to the fact that I know I'm capable. I absolutely know I'm capable. And if it's something that I have, if there's a deficiency or there's an area where I lack, I know that I can learn it. I can read it. I can research it. I can get around some people. I can ask some people to train me, let me shadow them. Like, if I really want to get the information, I'm going to get it one way or another. And that's just kind of how I've always been. And so I want to share that energy and that kind of like that rubric with others. I've seen great success in a lot of different things. The growth of the pod is just one of them. I'm always brainstorming and figuring out, like, how can we make this better? How can we add more value? How can we, do it all? So thank you guys for noticing, and thank you guys for tapping in. Until next time, guys, stay blessed. Peace.